Hey, how's it going, Super Group? How's everything? You're the first one here. Welcome. Hey, Thang. All right. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Super Group. Well, since you guys are the first ones here, any questions for me? Anything that I can answer for you? Anything you guys would like to talk about? Just let me know. Like I said, no holds barred. Everything's up for grabs, so let it rip. How's it going, baseball? Good to see you guys. I'm glad to see that, let me just thank you guys real quick because I see a lot of the same names pop up over and over again. It's great to know that that support's there. Oh, what's going on, Jared, Anime, Jesus, Roger? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys have all trickled in. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. What does it take to get a Twitter follow from me? Honestly, hit me up. You know what? In like a recent comment or even when this video is posted up, just let me know your Twitter name. I'll follow you. Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you guys, Twitter, let me know. I'm a newbie to Twitter, so I will follow you guys. Maybe that'll give me some ideas of things to post. Let me see. All right, let me go back and answer some of these questions. What is this live chat about? So Gabriel, this live chat is about whatever you want it to be about. I'm actually going to answer anything. Roger, thank you. I see you say you're a big fan. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support because I can't do this without you guys. So it means a lot to me. Let me just go back here and see what else, what else. How life is going. Life is going well. I can't complain. Obviously, I'm looking forward to when this quarantine is passed, when the coronavirus is history. I know it might not ever be completely history, but hopefully it's over sooner than later so I can get back into the ring and I can like I said, what I planned was for you guys to see me in the ring a bunch, but things change, man. You can't always anticipate everything. Fang, you want to know my favorite Shield member? I'd have to agree with you. Seth Rollins, man. Roman Reigns, I just think I like him as a wrestler, but he lacks a little charisma for me. And Dean Ambrose, I loved him at first. I thought on the mic when he used to grab that camera and kind of do that Joker style promo. I used to think that was great, but yeah, I don't know. Lately he kind of just to me. Even in AEW, I watch him and I'm like, I don't know. And as far as that Drew McIntyre voice impression, I'll have to work on that. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. My name is supposed to be pronounced Tong Tong. Oh, all right. Now I know Tong Tong. Anime, you asked me if I still practice wrestling. Someone asked how's wrestling going. It's going slow. I hate to say it, it's going slow. I will be posting a video soon within the next couple of weeks. The Freeway to Success episode 5. I will be doing, well, going back to the body just to show how things are going. Things have been going all right, not too bad. But yeah, you guys will really see in 2 weeks. So give it a little time, and I got some stuff in store for you. All right, let's see. How's Kurt Angle? That's funny. All right, let me go back here. Let's see. Thank you. Yes, I also love my Funko Pop collection. Why is there glitches at the end of my video? So, baseball, that's a good question. Some of you might have noticed there's some glitches at the end of that video. I kind of want to, I think I might let you guys assume. I might let you guys assume what the glitches are all about. I mean, I'll say this. They tell a story. So if you go back to the first video with glitches, they kind of lead up to a story that I'm telling you guys. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. All right. Let's see. What else do you got? How many Funko Pops do you have? I have 9. Wow, you have 95. I think I have 120. In this room, I have about 80. And then I have another area where I keep some more, where I have about, like 40 more. About 40 more. Am I a Marvel or a DC fan? Now, that's a good question. So, I love both. I really love both. I grew up in a big comic book family. My brother is named Logan, which, if you follow Marvel Comics, is the name of Wolverine. And yeah, huge. You know what? Let me show you guys. You guys are gonna get an exclusive peek at something right now. Hold on. Hold on. So on the back of my arm, I have this like DNA strand where it has Wolverine, Mickey Mouse, and Batman. So it represents my family. My mom is a huge fan of Mickey Mouse. My dad's a huge Batman fan, and Wolverine represents my brother. So there's just something. Look, you only get that on the live stream, right? So I'm a huge comic book fan. Huge. Huge. Let's see. If you're cheap, why do you have so many pops? So if you watch my pop video, the reason I actually did it because I know that's a common question. If you're cheap, how do you have so many pops? So the majority of them are gifts. I got my first two, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago, and I loved them. I was just like, wow, these are so cool. These are so cool. So a lot of times when people come to record in my recording studio, they might bring pops. My sugar mama has gotten me plenty of pops. My dad, brother, family, friends. That's kind of just my gift of choice. So if someone wants to get me something, I'm like, yeah, just give me a pop. Just give me a pop. Just give me a pop. So you figure all the holidays, all the events, all the time someone's come to record here over the last like 4 years or so, it adds up. It adds up to be about 120 pops to be exact. All right, let's see. Favorite movies. Mine is The Dark Knight. You know what's great about that? Obviously, you've probably seen my poster. If not, I'm gonna bring you guys along here, but I'm not gonna show you everything because I don't want you guys to see the mess I have in here. Look at that. I'm a huge Dark Knight fan, and just something that's kind of funny that I'll share with you guys. I was actually a stunt double. Well, not even a stunt double, like a fight double. And which one was that? The third one with Bane. So there's a scene where I'm actually fighting right next to Bane and Batman on, what was it? In New York on Wall Street. So that was pretty cool. You know, being able to be like, oh, Christian Bale's right next to me. They were looking for professional fighters or wrestlers, anything of that nature. So that was pretty dope. I was glad to be able to be a part of something like that. Let's see. Oh, a face reveal. What do you guys mean by a face reveal? Do you mean for my sugar mama? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Obviously, you don't mean my face. All right, let's see. What else do we got? Do I want CM Punk back in WWE from Underrated Mike? See, I like CM Punk, and I think that would be good for business. So I'm going to say yes ultimately. But he's kind of, you know, his time of me being like, ooh, CM Punk coming back would be so cool. It's kind of come and gone for me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you miss CM Punk? Main attraction. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Favorite wrestler. Favorite wrestler of all time is Chris Jericho. And for a few reasons, actually. So, you know, I'll give you guys a little history lesson real quick. So the first time I was ever exposed to wrestling was in a video game. That's not necessarily true, but the first time I was really introduced to wrestling, where I was like, wait, who's this person? How does this work? I want to know more about this, was in, I can't remember, but Chris Jericho was in the game, and I thought he looked really cool. He had this long, scraggly beard and this ponytail coming off the top of his head, and I was just like, man, that guy's pretty dope. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off of vibrate. That probably would have been smart, right? So we'll just have to deal with it for the rest of this. Chris Jericho, thought he was really cool, had a really cool look, had great moves. I love the Lion Tamer. I love the Lion Salt. And from there, something else that really grabbed me about Chris Jericho, which I see within myself, is he's an entertainer. He doesn't just wrestle. He likes to act. He likes to do music, which is kind of like myself. I'm going to see if I can turn off this vibrate, but I can't make any promises, so my bad. I'm still a newbie to this stuff, you know? Let's see. There, I think I fixed it. Yeah. So yeah, Chris Jericho, favorite wrestler. Absolutely. Am I friends with Dank Ops? No, I'm not friends, but you know what? I think I might have to challenge him to a wrestling match. I know Cody Code didn't answer. That's all right. Sometimes you're just too soft, man. Cody Code just didn't have what it takes to stand up to the cheap wrestler, so what can you do, right? All right, let's see. Let's see, what else? Do I still tape my... All right, do I still tape my boots? No, I do not tape my boots. After that day, I was like, okay, No more tape boots. Well, we're gonna retire that. There's a few things I retired. I did buy a handkerchief, which if I remember to use it or keep it on me at all times, I use a lot. Don't have tape boots anymore. That sort of thing. That's, I'm still cheap, but I have made some changes since the show. I'll put it that way. Cody Ko is a wussy. I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. Let me go back a little bit because you guys have some good questions. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me, by the way. Do I still live with my mom? No, I do not live with my mom anymore. I actually live with my sugar mama. So that's not actually my mom, just to clarify. So no, I don't live with her anymore. Heath Ledger, best live action Joker. I agree, Tong Tong. I agree. Absolutely. I want to see the #1 attraction on AEW. If you don't know, so you know what? I'll clear this up real quick. A lot of people are confused because they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, you're the #1 attraction. You're not really a cheap wrestler." The cheap wrestler was actually never my gimmick. That's just who I was. I was a cheap wrestler. My gimmick was the #1 attraction, Matt Saxon, because I believed I looked good. I believe I had the charisma. I believe that if you get in my way and you want to talk smack, then I will smack you right across that face so quick you won't even see it coming. And that's just who I was. I was a heel for the majority of my career. Babyface, I was still a good babyface. I'll pat myself on the back for that. I don't mind. I thought I was pretty damn good. Still think so. And yeah. So #1 attraction was the gimmick. Cheap wrestler is who I am. Let's see. How much does YouTube pay you? So, you know what? I'm glad you asked that, Tong Tong. Let me say this about YouTube paying me. Today, and I'm so glad that you guys are joining me for this moment, I just got YouTube certified to actually be an official YouTuber because of you guys. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. You made that possible for me. My favorite women's wrestler. So my favorite women's wrestler of all time, Jesus, is actually, and if it's not Jesus, if I'm pronouncing it wrong and it's Jesus, let me know. Is actually Trish Stratus. She was always had a big old crush on her when I was younger. I loved Trish Stratus. I thought she was the best thing ever. So of all time, she's my favorite. As far as now, I don't think you guys are gonna like this answer. My favorite would have to be Charlotte. I know. Charlotte is not usually people's answer as their favorite wrestler, but the reason I choose her is because you're guaranteed to have a good match. I think the only time I saw a match of hers and I was like, oh, that was a train wreck, was the tag team match where her and Becky Lynch went for the titles against Asuka and Kairi Sane. Kairi? Yeah, Kairi. Yeah, Kairi. That was the only time I ever watched the Charlotte match and went, that wasn't good. But again, she got hurt, whatever. Harry Nikki Bella is my favorite women's wrestler. I was never a huge Nikki Bella fan, or even just the Bellas in general. I just was kind of like, they're okay. They're all right. Let's see. My favorite match type. That's a good question. Super Groot, let me ask you a question back. My favorite match type, as in my favorite match type to be in myself, or my favorite match type to watch? You know what? Screw it. I'll answer both. My favorite match type to be in is a no DQ match. I love the creativity of not worrying about countouts, getting other people involved. Maybe someone interferes. Maybe someone gets hit with a weapon. It's usually not me. I'm usually the one doing the hitting with the weapons. So that's always a good time. My favorite match to watch. Again, this is going to sound funny. Well, you know what? No. I have my answer. The Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is my favorite match to watch of all time. I just love the nostalgia of it. I love when there's surprise entrances. I love knowing that this is the start of the road to WrestleMania. So the Royal Rumble by far is my favorite match type. Let's see. Do I like Tessa Blanchard? Yeah, Tessa Blanchard's good. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to dive too much into it, but if what they said about her is true, that does put me off a little bit. If she was at all made any racial slurs or anything like that. But then again, I wasn't there, so I can't prove it. But as far as her work, when I watch Impact Wrestling, when I see her on TV, she does great work. She absolutely does. And she cuts a hell of a promo because not that many wrestlers, especially female wrestlers, can cut a great promo. But she does. She's got it. She's got it. Roger likes the Boneyard match. I did enjoy that too. That was really good. That was really good. Let's see. What's better, WWE or AEW? Overall, it's hard to compare because AEW is still very new. So I would say WWE. However, AEW is doing an excellent job during this coronavirus outbreak, during this quarantine. I actually think they're doing a better job of having a no live audience show. Yes, they do have wrestlers stand ringside, production crew, a bunch of other people, but that brings life to the show. They bring reactions, it brings an extra story, and it just more variables within a match. And I think AEW was very smart to do something like that, and WWE can learn from them. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Let's see. What else do we have? What else do we have? What type of wrestler are you? Like technical, high flower, high flower. You hear me? High flower, high flyer, powerhouse, and more. So here's an interesting thing about my wrestling style. I always thought, and I always felt this way. I was a KISS wrestler. And what KISS means, you might know the acronym for Keep It Simple, Stupid. I was more about the storytelling. I always wanted to, go out and talk to the audience, maybe like slap some high fives, throw someone over a barricade. I would always like to tell a crazy story when I wrestle. But I would say, out of those choices you gave me, I would say more of a technical type. I enjoy submission. I am a smaller wrestler, obviously, so people expect me to wrestle like Ricochet, but I would say I'm more likely to wrestle like a Daniel Bryan or a Drew Gulak. I enjoy the technical stuff. I enjoy just kind of showboating and having a good old time and dancing around the ring and just being a fool. I'm all about the entertainment. So if I can incorporate that in any way, shape, or form into my wrestling matches, I will. Let's see, what else do we have? All right, let me backtrack a little bit because I know I missed a bunch of questions. Roger wants to know, what do I think of AJ Lee? I liked AJ Lee. She's someone, now someone asked about, I'd rather see her come back than CM Punk. That's how I feel. If she came out in the Royal Rumble and her music hit, I'd be like, what? This is crazy. It's AJ Lee. All right, let's see. I'm just backtracking a little bit. Let's see. What did I miss? What games do I play on the PS4? So I used to play, when I was younger, I used to play video games. Just like I was talking about how, now I ask for Funko Pops and people buy me Funko Pops. So I used to ask for video games, obsessed with video games. And I was a huge video game nerd. I owned every WWE game that came out. And then after a while, I just kind of stopped. They're not as good as they used to be. By the way, a video of me talking about the features that I miss from old wrestling games will be coming out in the near future. And yeah, video games, specifically RPGs, my Final Fantasies, my Kingdom Hearts. I love all those games. Mega Man Legends. I don't know if you guys have ever played Mega Man Legends, but that's my favorite video game of all time. I love story. I love walking around towns and talking to people and having to figure out little side missions. That's kind of just what I've always liked. I've enjoyed that. I'm the type of person that if I'm playing a video game with side missions, I might spend days just doing all the side stuff, all the secret bosses, all the, finding all the little corners and treasure chests and all that crap. I love it. It's like, it thrills me. It really does. What do I think about Drew Gulak being released? I thought it was, it seems like it was his choice. So maybe he's got something better planned. Maybe AEW gave him an offer. I don't know. I don't really know what's going through his head because it was clear that WWE was going to keep using him. Obviously, you saw, if you watch wrestling, eventually him and Daniel Bryan were going to go head to head. And I'm curious to why he would leave then. I don't know. I really have no idea. I find it odd. I'll say that. I find it odd. Let's see. Hold on. Who also has a question? What was my first WWE show? The first one that I ever watched, I remember watching, and I don't know if this is necessarily the first, but when I first started watching wrestling regularly, was at a time where SmackDown was really big, and I believe Triple H and The Rock were like the two main people. Stone Cold was out for a little bit. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels were out. So yeah, it was like the height of the Triple H versus The Rock rivalry was when I really got into wrestling. All right, let's see. What other questions do you guys have? Harry, I know you mentioned Grimm's Toy Show. I'm not as familiar with that. Maybe you could give me some more information about it because I don't really know. Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn. Um, I like Sami Zayn. I do. I feel like maybe sometimes for wrestlers, there's like a series of events, and you look back at it and you're like, man, I should have been somewhere else in my career, but I'm here. And I feel that way about Sami Zayn. I was happy that he won the IC title. However, he dropped it. It sounded like it was his choice. I don't know for sure, obviously, because it's not like we're friends or anything like that, but hopefully he can come back, win it again, and make something of it. Sami Zayn is someone I feel like was like a really good underdog character. He's great at being an obnoxious heel, but I would love to see him like win like Money in the Bank or something like that. I feel like Sami holding that briefcase and you wanting him to win so bad and finally have his own moment can really be big for a Money in the Bank moment. All right. Okay. Hockey Zach, my first WWE live show. Whew. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but when I was really young, really, 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 really young, maybe like 5, I went to a WrestleMania. And for the life of me, I could not even tell you what WrestleMania it was. But I know some of the wrestlers on the card were Bret Hart. Bret Hart was there. Yokozuna, Savio Vega. Most of these guys are probably like I don't even know if you guys remember these guys, but it's from a while back. It was a while ago. Let's see. Brad wants to know how the workouts are going. I think I might have mentioned this before you came on the chat. They're going well. They're going well. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but give it another 2 weeks or so, I will be doing another reveal. I'll have to take my shirt off. Hopefully don't embarrass myself. And, we'll see the progress. So I'm excited to show you guys. Give it a couple more weeks. I have some cool things planned as far as videos coming out. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's see. Grimm has a wrestling company in New Jersey. He's a real nice guy. Maybe I'll have to, hit him up. So just to give you guys, look, I feel like on the live stream, you guys can ask questions and I can give you like direct answers and just honest answers. So originally, before the quarantine, episode 4 of the Freeway to Success, I was supposed to go to 2 or 3 different wrestling promotions that I was in talks with and show you guys kind of the behind the scenes. I would be in the crowd and kind of document how that process would go. But things happen. I didn't expect to be here. I don't think you guys expected to be where you are right now. So it's life, man, and wrestling shows that aren't big wrestling shows just aren't happening right now. So I have to be patient, bide my time. And that's it. That's it. But in the meantime, I love entertaining you guys. So I will keep putting out videos. I love YouTube, I just think it's fun. I hope you guys have fun. I do, Let's see. Oh, how did I get on TLC? I will come back to that question because I know that's a big question. So give me 1 second. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to answer. Roger wants to know, would I wrestle Nia Jax or Shayna Baszler? Yes. I don't know if I was supposed to choose between the two, but yes, I would wrestle either or. Wrestling, yeah, absolutely. I wrestled Maria Kanellis, which you guys will hear about in the next Wrestling Road Stories. So yeah, I've wrestled a woman before. So it's interesting, All right. Let's see. Jared wants to know, was I forced to be on the show? Okay, so let's talk about the TLC show, because that's a very popular question. No, I wasn't forced to be on it or anything like that. The way it happened was a friend of mine had mentioned the show. To be honest, I never really heard of Extreme Cheapskates until I was going to be on it. It wasn't that they approached me to be on it. I was wrestling, just living my wrestling life, touring the East Coast up and down and whatnot. And I was starting to kind of slow down a bit and train for my Impact Wrestling tryout. So I kind of had a feeling that it was going to happen, but it was something that, how do I put it? I wasn't told directly until you guys saw it there, but I had this inkling because I had heard buzz around locker rooms and people talking about it that they might ask me to come audition. So with that said, a friend had mentioned the show Extreme Cheapskates and said, "Hey, they're looking for people. You're pretty cheap, right?" It was my old roommate. He's seen my cheap lifestyle because we lived together for about a year and a half. And I used to do things that I didn't think were weird, but he would be like, "Bro, what are you doing? You're really trying to save money like that?" Like I would have this huge bag of like plastic bottles and just refill each one until basically they were so mangled that I couldn't use them anymore. And he'd be like, "Bro, that's really unhealthy for you. Like you're supposed to throw them out. You're not supposed to keep using plastic bottles over and over and over and over again." So long story short, I sent them a video because he suggested it for me because I was like, why not? This might be fun. And they thought it was really cool that I was a wrestler. They were like, "Wow, that would make a great episode. This cheap wrestler who's doing whatever." And while we started to film, we got the news about the Impact Wrestling audition. So it just like came about at a really good timing. And obviously the tryout didn't go the way I wanted, but it was really cool to have it documented by TLC along the way. So hopefully that answers your question about Extreme Cheapskates and how I got on the show. All right, let's see what else you guys got. Oh, Brad, this is a good question, Brad. What's the most scary wrestling move an opponent did to you? To this day, the move that I like taking the least is a German suplex. I hate it. I hate taking a German suplex. It's my least favorite move to take, and I feel like it's gotten more and more popular as the years go on. So I'm a little nervous to come back from my wrestling hiatus and get German suplexed because I know it's going to happen. I'm just always scared about landing on my neck, you know? Justin, appreciate it, man. Yeah, Chucky. The Sugar Mama actually picked that one out. Would I wrestle The Undertaker? Oh, yeah, of course I would wrestle The Undertaker, especially if it's at WrestleMania. But honestly, I'd wrestle The Undertaker anywhere. That would be awesome. That'd be amazing. Let's see. Senshi asked me if I talked to Michael. No, it has to be an email, brother. It has to be an email. Has to be an email. So if you can get that for me, that would be dope. Tong, who would win in a fight between Lesnar or Conor McGregor? So, my opinion on this is Brock Lesnar is a real-life badass. I think that he can beat up most people, and I think that he would beat Conor McGregor, specifically because he's just way more powerful than him, and I think he would take him down. And as long as Lesnar can take him down, it might be a wrap. That's my opinion. The only person that I feel like with Brock Lesnar where I'd be like, oh, man, that's trouble, is Mike Tyson, man. Like, I saw that recent video of him throwing, oh my gosh. I'm like, I would not want to get hit by one of those. Let's see. Let me backtrack a little bit because I feel like I missed some questions that I definitely want to answer. Big Rig wants to know, am I still cheap? Yes, I'm still cheap, but not as cheap as you guys saw me on TLC. I did make some changes, did some upgrades. No more tape on the boots. I have a handkerchief now, which is great. I'm not wringing out tissues and drying them out and none of that crap anymore. I guess my roommate was right. I didn't realize how bad I was, but yeah, I guess I was pretty bad. Let's see, what else? What else do you guys have? I give you Dwayne Johnson energy. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I would take that as a compliment. I feel like when Dwayne Johnson speaks, he has a lot of charisma, and he comes off as a really nice guy. So if I come off anything like that, that's pretty sweet. Roger, what? You wrestled Maria? What does her husband think? Oh man, all right. I'm gonna give you guys a sneak preview to the next Wrestling Road stories. I'm gonna give it to you right now, so you guys are gonna have this epic sneak peek. So I wrestled for a company called East Coast Professional Wrestling, and at the time I was in a tag team called Law of Attraction with Tristan Law. I was the #1 attraction. He was Tristan Law. We were Law of Attraction, and he had a one-on-one match with someone where I was managing him, and Maria Kanellis was managing his opponent. And we ended up getting into this huge brawl ringside where me and Maria are just wrestling on the ground. We're just rolling over and over again. And I can't tell you why she had a potty mouth, though. You got to wait for that part. But someone asked what did her husband think. She wasn't married at the time, but she had just started dating Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett? Yeah, Mike Bennett. So he was in the crowd, which I didn't even know because, like, I guess their relationship was so fresh and so new. That was many years ago, so yeah. Harry Flynn. What would I wrestle Brock Lesnar? Yeah, I would wrestle Brock Lesnar, but not Suplex City, man. That's my biggest fear. Suplex City. Let's see. Normally I only run half an hour, but you know what? Let's go to like 40 minutes today, right? How does that sound? That sounds pretty good. Brad wants to know cats or dogs. So I used to have cats when I was younger, but I'm highly allergic to cats. So I would choose dogs, but I've only really owned one dog, and that was my dog. Like, I was like, that's my dog. I love this dog. I don't really love everybody's dog. I'm be honest, I'm not a huge animal person. However, I do have a hedgehog. My pet is a hedgehog. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. What else? What other questions do we got? Let me backtrack a little bit. Oh. Cool Bowser, man. What are you doing? Trying to get to these questions, bro. Tong Tong, did I get richer? I definitely have more money than I did in the TLC episode. That's for sure. Hockey Zach wants to know would I wrestle a death match? Oh, maybe when it comes down to this, but probably not. I'm not a hardcore. I let me backtrack because I know I said I like no holds barred, no DQ matches, but there's a limit. If someone's like, "Oh, I want to staple your head or take this shard of glass and slice it across your eye," no, what? Get out of here with that crap, man. That's not even wrestling at that point. That's just my opinion. Who would I rather wrestle, AJ Styles or Kenny Omega? I would have to choose AJ Styles. AJ Styles is my second favorite wrestler. Oh, I don't know if I can say of all time, but I love AJ Styles, man. Like he actually, if you look at my old ring gear, I had the hoodie. AJ Styles vibes all over that, man. Absolutely. Can I show him? I never saw a hedgehog before. So Senshi, yeah, I will be having him on my YouTube channel soon. And his name is Urkel. I have a hedgehog named Urkel, like Steve Urkel. Baseball, I see you're trying to get this question out there. What's my favorite Funko Pop? I'll show you. Undoubtedly, my favorite Funko Pop is now The Fiend. I just think they really did like a great job with his design. I think he looks so cool. I love everything about him, man. The Fiend for sure. Favorite Funko Pop, hands down. Hands down. All right, let's see what else do we have here. AJ Styles makes everything look, yeah, he does make everything look good in a wrestling match. Undisputed area, area. What's wrong with me? Apparently I just can't read today. That's cool. Advice for a 17-year-old starting pro wrestling training. I got this advice when I first started, and it was really, really good advice. Listen. Listen to everything everyone says to you, especially when you're in the ring. It's key. It's key. I'm trying to think of like the advice that I was given compared to the advice that I would give personally, because sometimes it doesn't match up. So I would say we live in an era of wrestling right now where it's about flips. Like if you could flip, if you could jump really high, if you could do this crazy reversal, if you could do a 360 pile driver off the Titantron into 4 flaming tables, then you had a hell of a match. When I first started wrestling, it wasn't really like that. It was how well you can entertain the people, period. Didn't matter how. I'm a character wrestler. I very much am. I love entertaining people. I used to talk smack all the time, and I think it's very, very important to look like a wrestler and also act like a wrestler. You want people to be like, ooh, that guy is larger than life. So think about that as you progress in your wrestling career, and good luck. All right. Underrated Mike, do I like John Cena? Yeah, I like John Cena, but to be honest, I loved him when he was like the word life doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena. I thought that was great. I was just like, man, this guy's so cool. So that was my favorite rendition of John Cena's character. Cool Bowser. Yes, it's better when you don't spam, man. What are my thoughts on Walter's NXT UK Championship reign? I'll be honest with you. I've watched Walter. Not a huge Walter fan. I'm hoping Finn Balor eventually takes that title away from him. That's just how I feel. Am I going to become a face since I have a YouTube channel? I mean, what's his name has a big YouTube channel? Sammy Guevara, right? He's a heel. But no, I'll say this. It doesn't impact whether I'll be a heel or a face. I'll put it that way. Baseball wants to know if I'm going to make a Cameo account. Should I? Like, if I did a Cameo, was that something you guys would want? Is that something that you think would be cool? Because then I can apply for it. Maybe I can apply to be on Cameo. I don't know. What do I think of wrestling now compared to when I started? Yeah, boy, Alfred. Yeah, I like that question. It's changed. The game has changed tremendously. Like I said, I'm as tall as Ricochet. I know a lot of people like to give that comparison, but we wrestle nothing alike. Ricochet is very fluid, very smooth, very athletic. Me? Nah. I'm very grounded. I'm the kind of guy like to lift someone's face in the camera and be like, look at this idiot. Boom, and just punch him right in the nose. That's just me. Like, a very different wrestling style. Very, very different. And I think the wrestling world kind of shows that, you know. You have your AJ Styles, your Ricochets, your Kenny Omegas, your Cedric Alexanders, as opposed to when I was watching where you had your Rocks, your Stone Colds, your Triple H's, and your Undertakers. So the game has definitely changed. Absolutely. Wrestling, I think is, you know what? I'm going to say this too. I know every once in a while, I'm sorry. I feel like just I have random thoughts that pop in my head. I say that wrestling has changed. However, really think about this. Do you think that Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, would you consider them to have blown up? Are they where they should be? When you saw Ricochet debut, did you think maybe he would be in like Money in the Bank? Maybe he would do something really incredible. My point to saying this is wrestlers, in my opinion, focus so much on, hey, let me do that crazy backflip and, you know, this crazy pile driver from the middle rope to the outside. But they can't talk on the mic. They can't cut a promo, like, at all. And to me, that's crazy. How are you a wrestler and you can't pick up a mic and entertain people? That's what you're there for. So sometimes I think if you can reduce the amount of flips that you do and make up for it in charisma and personality and mic skills, that'll take you further. That's my opinion. Would I consider a P.O. box for fan mail? Whew, you know, I never really thought about it. Again, I'll ask this, just like the Cameo question. Should I? Like, maybe if it was something that people asked about, I would. Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Tong Tong says, yeah, you need mic skills. You need mic skills. It's just what it is. Undisputed Era says, I'm smaller, but it's okay if I don't do dives and flips. So, some people might tell you it's not okay that you don't do dives and flips. However, Matt, it will tell you it's absolutely okay. It's 110% okay. You just have to find something that will make up for it. So, for example, like I said, I'm not a high flyer. People see me and they're like, oh boy, this guy's going to do a triple shooting star press. No, I'm not. I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to put him in a freaking headlock. I'm going to bash his face in with my hand. I'm going to toss him out of the ring. I'm going to throw him into the barricade. I'm going to jump in the ring. I'm going to taunt. And I'm going to pretend like my crap doesn't stink. And I'm going to make everybody either love me or hate me. That's it. That's what I do. The entertainer comes out of me when I wrestle. Let's see. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so, yeah, character matters. Why does Vince hate people that aren't sweaty? I don't know. Trey wants to know if I'm still cheap. Yes, I answered this a couple times, but yeah, still definitely cheap. I like to be very frugal. I like to be cautious with my money. I know a lot of people get a little fooled because they see this stuff and they're like, whoa. But, oh, let me talk about this because some people used to ask me, but they don't really ask me anymore. But I see a lot of comments like, this guy needs to get a job. I have a job. I have a job. I run this recording studio. That's a job. But I do a lot of different things. I make graphics for different people, whether it be wrestlers or musicians. I have my own music career. If you listen to hip hop, I do a lot of hip hop music. So I do a lot of different things for money. Some people say it's like an entrepreneur, hustler, whatever. And again, I will be adding wrestling back to that revenue. So yeah, for sure. For sure. Do I think Cesaro should be WWE champion? I don't know if he should be WWE champion. However, I do think that he should get more than he has currently. For example, I feel like he should win with Money in the Bank. Why not? Why not? Cesaro's the man. Like, he's a great wrestler. Absolutely. Let's see. How long did it take for me to master rolls? Yes, like your forward rolls and whatnot. That one wasn't too tough for me. I think one of the more challenging ones for me was a handstand bump. I don't know. They don't do that everywhere. They don't do a handstand bump everywhere. So, yeah, you know, I don't that. Let me know if you've done it. I'm curious if you've done a handstand bump. Undisputed Era. Let me backtrack a little bit and see what you guys got. Let's see. Cool Bowser says do a freestyle. I'll rap a little something real quick. I don't know. Oh, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me answer this one question. What did you do after? Okay, what did I? Jared wants to know what did I do after I didn't make it to Impact? So, and I kind of mentioned this in a couple of videos. I was down, man. Like that. Like I think I kept in pretty good spirits, but I was down because I hit that moment of what next? Like what next? You know, this was supposed to be it for me. This was the moment. This was everything I worked up to. And it didn't work out. So I was on the indie scene for maybe like a year after that. And then I went on a hiatus. I just kind of dove into music, dove into acting, and let wrestling kind of fade away a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was really discouraging. I felt very lost. In life, I set these goals for myself, but I always have like a top goal. And sometimes when I hit that top goal, I'm like, man, now what? Sammy B, have I ever been an extra in a movie? Yeah, absolutely. I was just saying earlier, I actually was part of the stunt team for the Dark Knight Rises, right? Rises is the one with Bane. Yes, the Dark Knight Rises. And it was pretty cool because I got to fight next to Batman and Bane in New York City. So, hey, that's pretty awesome, right? Let's see. Let me backtrack a little bit. I see someone who had asked me about that freestyle. Oh, Bowser, right? All right, so I'm gonna rap a little bit. I hope that's okay. I'll rap for like a verse. Only tripping when we living out a vacay. Show we rip it, then we filming in the same day. Amazing, New York to Beijing, pacing back and forth. Of course we chase dreams. Well, 4 bars out the box, we out the box. Giant bread, we make a lot, make a lot. I don't know. That's a little something there. Let's see. What do I think? Stefan wants to know what I think about Lucha Underground. I love Lucha Underground, man. I thought Lucha Underground was really cool, and it really gave a different side of things over to yeah, like the wrestling world, man. They made the cinematic. I thought it was dope, man. I wish Lucha Underground was still on. I really enjoyed Lucha Underground, and some of my favorite wrestlers came out of there. That's where I was introduced to Pentagon Jr., who to me, the best version of Pentagon Jr. was Lucha Underground's version. He was just a badass, man. Like the way he used to snap everyone's arm, and I used to be like, yo, he's like evil. Like, I love that guy. That's what I wouldn't say that's where I was introduced to Ricochet because I was familiar with him from the independent scene, but that's where like he really blew up, being Prince Puma, if you didn't know that. And if you've never seen Lucha Underground, I recommend going back and checking it out. Let's see. Jesus wants to know if I would start a team. Who would I start it with? Chris Jericho, man. Favorite wrestler of all time. Favorite wrestler of all time. I got to choose Chris Jericho. All right. Tong Tong says, not bad. Thank you, man. I just, you know, that was the first thing that popped in my head there. I was like, let me just shoot this bit out here, man. Do I like Sasha Banks? Yeah, I like Sasha Banks. She's cool. You know, I'm curious to see her and Bayley. I know they're like really taking their time with the storyline, but I'm excited to see that come to a head because man, their takeover match, their first one, Mind-blowing. Excellent, excellent match. Excellent match. Let's see. Do I think Otis... Okay, Jared wants to know... Okay, you said, do I think... I'm assuming you're asking me, do I think he will successfully cash in? I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Otis will not successfully cash in. That's my opinion. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. All right. Since she wants to know what promotion I wish I would sign with, WWE. Definitely WWE. Let me see. I'll answer a couple more questions, and then we're going to head out of here. We're already past the 45-minute mark. I know I said 40 minutes, but I really enjoy answering your questions, so that's pretty dope. Let's see. Let's see. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? No, that's okay, Jared. No worries. Sammy B, am I going to watch Raw tonight? Probably. Yeah, probably. I try to watch wrestling live whenever I can. There might be a couple things that I'm doing tonight, so I might not be able to watch it live. Maybe I watch it in a couple of days once it's on like YouTube and whatnot. So yeah, I'll try. I'll try. Let me see. I'm gonna answer one or two more questions. All right, I'm looking for some good ones. Give me a couple of good ones. When I make the pros, what is the first thing I will do? Celebrate, man. I might actually spend a little bit of money, which is crazy. If I made it to the pros, man, if I was in the WWE, if I got that contract and I signed on the dotted line, yeah, I think I would spend a little bit of money, because I would be like, if I'm not going to spend money now, when would I, right? Someone else had asked earlier, and it just popped in my head. They wanted to know what's the first thing I'm going to do once this quarantine is over, once the coronavirus outbreak kind of settles down. The first thing I'm going to do is probably stay home quite a bit still. I don't mean to make this political at all, but I'm one of those people who believe that we still need to be really cautious, even once things open up. So I'd be curious to see what happens. Thank you for answering the questions. No problem, Jesus, no problem. So my birthday is April 26th. So my birthday actually recently just passed. Yeah, less than a month ago. Harrison, my night's going well, man. I'm glad I get to spend it with you guys. Like, that's pretty cool. After this, I'm going to spend it with my sugar mama. But being able to just talk with you guys and answer your questions and just kind of get a sense of what you guys want, what you guys think. Because from here on out, not only am I going to be a cheap wrestler, but I'm going to be a YouTuber. I love doing this with you guys. This is something I discovered, and I have to really thank, Cody Ko and thank TLC, because if it wasn't for Cody Ko, that's what really kind of started this in motion. I know some people came from a Bionic Pig, or maybe they came from Dank Ops, but I feel like Cody Ko really set the trend, and his episode regarding me, even though he liked to roast me, and people ask me all the time, did that bother you? No, because if he didn't do that, I might not know who you are. I might not have been introduced to you, just like you've been introduced to me. So I look at it as a blessing, to be honest. All right. Time traveler. That's okay, man. That's okay. No worries, man. I have a couple minutes left. I'll give you guys. Let's see. Cody Cole makes you vomit. Sorry, man. Let's see. I'm going to answer one more question. So I'm going to find my favorite question that I see here, and I will answer it. Let's see. Scrolling. Oh, some people want to know how old I am. I'm not telling you. How about that? 44. Or how old do you think I am? Let me ask that. How old do you think I am? I see age. How old do you think I am? I'm curious to see that answer. That's what I'm curious of. 32, 33, 23, 33, 27, 35, 31, 35. Okay, so some of you guys, I'll tell you this. I'm going to give you a little Jared, first of all, thank you, 23. That's really nice of you. not quite 23 anymore, not that much of a young buck, but it is between the ages of 27 and, little drum roll, there we go, and 33, between the ages of 27 and 33. I'll even narrow it down. It's between the ages of 27 and 32. Ooh. So that's what you guys get. What year was I born? Nice try. What do you think? I was born yesterday? Definitely wasn't born yesterday. That's great. That was funny though. Octavius, thank you, man. Thank you. What was my first job? Hey, that's a good question. I like that one. I love when you guys ask me like personal questions about like just like general life stuff. My first job ever was I worked at a barbecue place called Chumley's, very local. I used to live in Orange County, New York, and it was a tiny little like hole in the wall barbecue joint called Chumley's when I was 16 years old. Who's my top 5 rappers? Ooh, that's a really good question. So I have a very unique, what's the word I'm looking for? Taste in hip hop. Very unique taste. So Eminem, I gotta say, is up there. You know, just gotta throw that out there right now. But I really like old school Kanye West. I enjoy Common, B.O.B., Lupe Fiasco. I wouldn't necessarily say that was my top 5, but those are all guys I really enjoy. What did I like to do as a kid? I used to like to do karate as a kid. That was one of my favorite things. But I was more so an indoor kid. I would play I would play a lot of video games. Huge RPG nerd. Huge Dragon Ball Z nerd. I liked watching cartoons and superhero crap. I loved going to the movies. I always had a big imagination, which really plays to who I am today. Let's see. Do I have... Oh, baseball. It's so funny you asked that. Yes, I actually just did it yesterday. So yeah, I keep track of all the Funko Pops I have and the ones that I want and how much money. By the way, you guys want to hear something crazy? Like, I almost lost my mind when I did this. So I used the Funko Pop app to see how much all of my Funko Pops were worth altogether. And I almost had a little heart attack. So altogether, so far, $2,000 in Funko Pops. Whew. It was bittersweet to hear that. I was happy to hear it, but I'm also like, I'm cheap. Maybe I gotta sell these things. I'm like, I need money. Money's good. But I just took a breath. And I'm like, you know what? If anything, they'll be worth more later. My favorite Dragon Ball Z character is absolutely Vegeta. Vegeta is the best character. Especially Majin Vegeta, because that's when he just didn't give a crap. He's like, I'm going to let this evil take over me, and I'm going to beat Kakarot. My favorite video game character. Ooh. So I would say Mega Man. Mega Man's got to be my favorite video game character. Specifically Mega Man Legends, which if you haven't played that game, look it up. It's not a popular game, but I love it. Let's see. What else? What else do we have? No, man. No. Picari, is that how you pronounce your name? No, I did not spend $2,000 on Funko Pops. Trust me. If you watch the Funko Pop collection video, you'll find out that I would say a good 90 to 98% of these Funko Pops were purchased for me from gifts. People like my sugar mama, my mom, my dad, my brother, my cousin. A lot of people who come to the studio go, oh man, hey, look, I was at the store and I found this. I thought you would like it. I'm like, yeah, I would. Let me put it up there. So my Funko Pop collection started 4 years ago. And ever since then, that's what I've asked for. That's all I've asked for is when people say, hey man, it's Christmas. What do you want? Funko Pops. Give me a Funko Pop. And that's it. That's it. Time Traveler. So I had mentioned the reason I actually have the Fiend next to me is because that is my favorite Funko Pop. I think he looks so cool, right? Look at that. Yes, Majin Vegeta is a badass. Absolutely. Picari. And let me know if I'm not saying that right. Let me know. Yeah. Watch that video. It's pretty cool. If you haven't seen the Funko Pop collection video, you guys should go watch it. That's actually one of my favorite videos that I put together so far. I know it's not one of the more popular ones because it doesn't really have much to do with wrestling, but it's like my favorite video that I put on my channel. So, you know, for what it's worth. And I'm still going here. We're almost near the hour mark, and I know a lot of you guys are going to go for Raw to go watch it. So In 5 minutes, we'll go for real. We'll go for real. My favorite DC character is also Batman. Gotta go Batman, man. Baseball wants to know how I got my sugar mama. Well, you see, baseball. I use my my boyish charm, you know? If Vince gave me ownership of WWE, what would I do? Ah, man. I would hire Vince McMahon to help me run it. Because he's a genius. Like, whether you love him or hate him, he's a genius. He makes it work. Yes. Let's see. Oh, I haven't seen that movie you're referring to, Tong. I haven't seen that one yet. Sammy B. Yeah. That's a good song of mine. I enjoyed that one. Picari wants to know, dream match. If I had to pick one person to wrestle, it'd have to be Chris Jericho or Undertaker. Undertaker at WrestleMania would be like the dream match because there's only so many people who have faced him at WrestleMania. So to be on that short list, I feel like you're automatically like legendary. Anthony, I am not calling you baseball. There's someone in the group named baseball. Do I speak Spanish? David Juarez? No, I don't. Right? And like, here's a question I don't think anyone's asked me. I'm Puerto Rican, 100%. But my parents never spoke Spanish, so I never learned. Yeah, man. I wish I spoke Spanish. What did I think of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Overall, I thought it was okay. I didn't love it. My favorite match, what I felt was match of the night, was actually Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. Now, I know it's hard to tell that it was the best match of the night because there's no crowd, but it was a really good match. Like, I would suggest going back to watch it just to prove it to yourself, because I know a lot of people think the Money in the Bank ladder match was the best match. I would disagree. Would I rather get speared by Goldberg or Roman Reigns? So I'm going to say Roman Reigns, because Goldberg pretty much just runs through you. And he even said that. People are like saying, oh, spear versus spear, which spear is more challenging? When Roman Reigns spears someone, kind of like it's like a little glide. Psh, like I caught you in midair. Psh. But when Goldberg spears you, it just looks like he didn't even see you. Like he was just trying to run right through you. Just like, pew! And yeah, it looks rough, man. He just cuts people in half with that. And he actually, one of Goldberg's most intense spears, and I will challenge you to look it up on YouTube. Goldberg spearing Nunzio. Because my poor Nunzio, man. He almost lost his boots. Someone asked me about the Dark Side of the Ring. Stefan, I actually have not. I have not seen a single episode of Dark Side of the Ring, but I have seen the Undertaker docuseries so far, and that's really good. If you haven't seen that on the WWE Network, definitely check that out, man. That's a really cool series. All right, we have 2 minutes left. Have I read any wrestlers' autobiographies? Mr. Anthony, yes. Mankind's. I feel like that was the first big wrestling autobiography. I read The Rock's. I've read Triple H's. I've read Batista's. I've read all of Chris Jericho's, like all 4 of them. So my former tag team partner, Tristan Law, says I should go watch Dark Side of the Ring. So he's usually pretty smart about this stuff. So maybe I'll go check it out. Yeah, Time Traveler. Sorry, I disagree. I think when you really watch the wrestling of Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, that is the better wrestling match. I was entertained by the Money in the Bank, but I didn't think it was the best match of the night. No. Tong, HBK, or Triple H. I would have to go. I don't know, man. I can't choose. That's an unfair question. They're both too good and they're very different. Although they're like best friends and they've been in the same stables and all this stuff, they're very different competitors, very different entertainers. And let's see. Time Traveler, I did answer a few of your questions, actually. So I would say when this is up on the YouTube channel, check it out. And yeah, hopefully you get those answers. What's going on? So if you just join the group or whatever, I'll do this again. If you guys like this, I'll do it again. Just let me know. Blow up my comments and whatnot. I don't care. Say, hey, do another live stream. Hey, do another live stream. I'll do another live stream. Absolutely. So on that note, I think we're all set with questions. I think I literally went an extra half an hour an extra half an hour. Crazy, right? Bananas. So, but anyway, I enjoy doing this. I will do this all the time. Not all the time. That's a bit, don't quote me. Don't quote me. But anyway, I'm the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera, aka the number one attraction, Matt Saxon. If you follow my old stuff, and this has been real. You guys are welcome. Thank you for joining me. Can I post the Maria Canales video? No, not yet. Not yet. But speaking of my tag team partner, he'll probably have something to say about that one too. So take it easy. Peace. Oh, look at this. I'm looking at little filters and stuff. Wow, look at that. Huh. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. Huh. Huh. Look at that. Huh. Wow. Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. That's pretty sweet. Oh, there's all these functions. I'm looking about. If you guys want to hang out while I just be weird and look at all this stuff, that's cool. Man. Wow. Save highlight, share, mute microphone. Huh. One day I'll have to play with this. Peace.